feel like I say this every stream, but I'm definitely tired today. I've been very tired all day. Was a wrestling pay-per-view. AEW All Elite Wrestling put on Full Gear. Whoops. I went over to a friend's house to watch it. Had a little watch party with a couple other friends. Overall, it was a really good pay-per-view. Really fun. Lots of fun. I was thoroughly blown away by all the matches, and everything was great. But yeah, me personally, so being an avid alcohol consumer, I enjoy me a good drink. I'll say that. Usually when there's an AEW pay-per-view, I'm very inclined to have a few beers. Oh, one of the other things too with pay-per-views, I have a tradition amongst my friends where I predict every match. I say, here's who I think is going to win, and my reasoning as to why that is. And I do literally a write-up for it. It's literally like 2 or 3 pages of stuff I write, and every match I do has like a paragraph long analysis as to why I think someone's going to win. I do it all in good fun. It's all done in good faith. You know, for the MJF Darby Allin one, I think I predicted MJF was going to win, and MJF did win. But that was just an incredible match. There's a lot of cool stuff about it. I could not have told you that the stuff they did was something I would have expected. And MJF is one of those wrestlers. He's just one of those wrestlers that he doesn't wrestle very often. He's usually cutting just really good promos. When I thought about it, I was like, he doesn't wrestle often. Like he's always there, but he's never like doing a match, or he's maybe doing like a jobber match or something just to like showcase how strong he is. But whenever he does wrestle, you go, oh yeah, this guy's really good. The MJF Darby Allin match, really good. The first like 2 minutes of it is insane. We were like, this is the beginning of the pay-per-view. Like, what? Like, that match alone could have been like a main event match in its own right. And it was the starter. So we were like, oh, shit. Incredible match. Ended with MJF winning. Slimed his way into that victory. Punched Darby with a diamond ring, essentially. So, good match, though. Good match. Oh, that's right. I forgot that after MJF and Darby Allin, they went ahead and did the tag team championship. We were like, whoa, what a weird choice to have next. But hey, I'm not Tony Khan, and Tony Khan seems to know what he's doing. All right. Yeah, Lucha Brothers versus FTR. When they announced it, I was super, and I even said it in my predictions, actually. I was very like, FTR fighting Lucha Brothers? I mean, I know like, the other tag teams in the division right now for AEW are kind of busy with other things, so I was kind of weirded out by it, but I was like, I don't know, let's see what happens, I guess. Again, the entrances were super interesting. Oh yeah, they were wearing some weird like boxing attire, like they looked like they were supposed to be boxers or something. And then Lucha Bros did this whole thing where they had like, you know, I don't know if it was a reference to something. I didn't look into it. I probably should have. They had like these guards standing there with like these flags, and then like they made like explosion sounds go off, and like the guards freaked out, and then the Lucha Brothers theme kicked in, and they came out. They were all wearing camo. I'm not sure why Rey Fenix and Penta El Cero Miedo was why they were wearing so much camo, but they were just like to the nines with it, and I was like, what the fuck? Insane spot. I don't even remember some of the spot. I mean, it was the second match, and it was just because there were some other matches that happened later in the pay-per-view that blew me away even more so. Oh, I remember. Rey Fenix did some shit. Like, I remember at one point, they set up Dax Hardwood to take, I think what was supposed to be Lucha Brothers' finisher. And basically, Penta just holds him upside down like he's going to pile driver him. And then Rey Fenix goes up on the top turnbuckle and jumps on top and kind of like pushes down with his feet as Penta pile drives the person. That's their finisher. They went to do that. And while they're doing that, you see Cash Wheeler. He's on the other side of the ring in the corner. He's getting up and he starts kind of running towards, and you're like, uh-oh, he's going to stop it. Oh, no. And Rey Fenix, when he goes to jump, he doesn't jump and push his feet down. He kind of just moves his feet. Like he's like kind of springboarding off Dax and Penta. And he just like drop kicks Cash Wheeler. And we were like, dude. We were just like, this is insane. What is happening? Good defense. Lucha Brothers won that, defend their title. That was my 2 for 2. I had predicted Lucha Brothers, and I was 2 for 2. Yeah, getting the first 2 matches right was putting me at ease. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a 100% prediction rate on this guy. Spoiler alert, I didn't. Oh yeah, Miro versus Bryan Danielson in the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament. I was bitter on this one, just with the setup. Mainly because I really wanted Orange Cassidy to win the tournament. Oh, damn it. I wanted Orange Cassidy to win the tournament so he would be in the finals. Or, I'm sorry, win the semifinal match so he'd be in the finals at AEW to fight against Bryan Danielson, because I thought that would be, I was like, that would be awesome if, like, I was like, Orange Cassidy, Bryan Danielson? Hell yeah. I think the original plan was going to be, you know, I've been told it was going to be Moxley and Bryan Danielson, which still would have been cool. I'm sure that still would have been a dope match. But this one I was at least interested because I know so many people like Miro, and I was like, oh, let's see where he goes with this. It's the match I don't remember too much of. I like Bryan Danielson. I'm not super crazy about Miro. I think Miro cuts really good promos. Yeah, and I don't know. He's not my favorite of the cast, but that's just me. It was good, some good spots. I don't remember any of them. So that one I did predict Bryan Danielson to win because I assumed it was just something that felt like they were really trying to set up that Bryan Danielson was going to get a title shot real soon. Like, he's just that good of a wrestler. So yeah, I was 3 for 3 after that third match. Yeah, Bryan Danielson was third, so I was 3 for 3 at that point. I understand part of the reason I'm tired. By this point in the show, let's see, 3 matches in, I think I'd had like 3, maybe 4 beers. Because by the end of the night, I think I had like 6 or 7. I just don't remember. I think at this point I had like 3. And I think that's part of the reason I don't remember part of this match. I was starting to get there. Luchasaurus, that's right. It was Jurassic Express and Christian Cage versus Super Click, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was Falls Count Anywhere. That's right. That was a stipulation. You know, this match we thought was insane. It was probably one of the best matches that night, without a doubt. The fact that they pulled out the tags and while Adam Cole is in the submission hold with Jungle Boy, the Young Bucks are running back and forth, and then they just throw a mouthful of tacks into Jungle Boy's mouth. We were just like, oh, that's absolutely horrendous. I can't believe they were like, yeah, let's do this. The knee pads that Adam Cole brought out for all 3 of them so they could do a BT trigger on Luchasaurus' head, but with knee pads that had tacks on them. They were just like, be the elite, and then bam, tacks to the head, motherfucker. I remember they were all down at the bottom, so they have the stage area, and then there's the ramp. The ramp leads to, there's a little like crevice area. It's like Adam Cole and Nick Jackson they're just down there, along with like some other people who are part of the elite, and they're down there, and Luchasaurus stands like at the edge of the stage looking out there, and we're like, oh man, he's gonna do like a flip or something like that. They're like, oh, he's gonna take like a running start and jump. You know, we thought maybe he was gonna jump. I was like, what if he flipped? That'd be so cool. It's like, is he gonna flip? And they're like, nah, there's no way. And then sure enough, he gets a run. Luchasaurus, this hulking, I mean, this is like a 6'5" man, just running start, jumps, does a backflip in the air right on top of these guys. It was incredible. We were sitting there, we were going like, holy fucking shit. I cannot believe what I just saw. And I mean, just Adam Cole and Jungle Boy, I think those two just have a lot of good in-ring chemistry. I feel like if you put those two in the ring and have them wrestle, it's just going to be a good match. I know it ended with, and I was surprised. So this was the first match of the night that I actually got wrong. I had actually expected Super Click to win. I was convinced they were going to win the match. I didn't think, in hindsight, especially with how things played out and everything, 100%. It made a lot of sense. The storyline they were doing involving Hangman Page and Kenny Omega with the championship. So it did end really cool with like Matt Jackson was on the floor laying down. He's like, you know, he'd just taken some kind of hit, whatever. He was like weak, right? He was like, oh fuck, I'm down on the ground. Ugh. The floor. He put a chair underneath his head and then grabbed a second chair, and he was like, we're gonna end this match by. They actually gave it a name, and I forgot what it was called, but they were basically gonna smack another chair on top of Matt Jackson's head, which was on top of a second chair. So it was like he was just gonna get sandwiched in between 2 steel chairs. And Christian Cage was about to do it. And then Jungle Boy stops him and he's like, no. And you can see him mouth it too. He goes, let me do this. And then sure enough, Jungle Boy does it. He goes for the pin and they win the match. And we were all just like, holy crap. Didn't think that was going to happen. Yeah, that was the first wrong match of the night for me. I was like, damn, I got that wrong. It's like no 100% prediction rate for me. I was like, that's fine. At least I have beer. Oh, that's right. All right. So the next match was Cody Rhodes and Pac in a tag team match against Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. So this was the other one I got wrong. So there's two things with this. One, when I made my predictions, again, I wrote out a document. It was like 2-3 page document. I wrote it, I think Wednesday night, like late Wednesday night. I watched AEW Dynamite, which was that's their TV show that they do, weekly TV show that they do. And they do another TV show called Rampage on Friday nights. Dynamite's on Wednesday night. Rampage is on Friday. I'm not really going to have time to watch Rampage and then write these predictions. So I'm going to write them now because there's probably not going to be too much that happens. Problem with that is that for some reason, I was completely unaware that Cody Rhodes and Pac were teaming up to go against Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. So I had no prediction for it. So yeah, I didn't know about Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black, or, that tag team. I was like, what? So I had to, in a group chat I have with a couple friends of mine, I had to amend it. I was like, I need to amend this because there's a prediction that I didn't make that I need to make. I very quickly came up with a prediction. I didn't try and write out a whole thing for it. I was just like, I'll just this one. So my prediction was that Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo would win. Reason being just that Cody at the moment is so he's technically what's called a babyface in wrestling, and babyface is it's someone who's like over with the crowd. That's a term. The term over as in is very liked by the crowd. They play like essentially the hero role, and then there's a heel, which is they play like the villainous role. They usually are the wrestlers who cheat, and so Cody's technically a face. But the thing is, lately, everyone's been booing the shit out of him. Why that is, I think people are just sick of Cody's gimmick and what he's doing as a face. I actually don't think people hate Cody. I think they like Cody. There's a reason. But people weren't liking face Cody, I guess. I guess they're finally just kind of sick of face Cody and they want something else from him. They want him to maybe go heel. So I was like, no one likes Cody, really. The only reason they might cheer for Cody in this match is just because he's teamed up with Pac, which he acts like a heel, but he's so over with the crowd that they officially made him a face. And they got Malachi Black and Andrade Idolo, who are 100% heels. They are heels in the ring and everything. They absolutely go with the heel persona, and people love them. People are like, hell yeah. So I was like, Cody Rhodes is going to lose. Just Cody Rhodes and Pac are going to lose just because no one really likes Cody. That's my reasoning. That's it. But I was actually wrong. This was actually my other wrong prediction. This is the only other prediction I got wrong. But it was really funny because just the entire match, just anytime anyone did anything, everyone would cheer except for Cody. Anytime Cody did something, it didn't matter what he did, people would boo. And it was this weird, 20 people going, yeah, go Cody, woo! And then there was 100 people going fuck this guy, boo! I was convinced they would lose, and Cody would blame Pac, or Pac would blame Cody, and then Cody would go heel or something. He'd finally do a heel turn. I know he's gone in the ring saying, I'm not going to turn heel. It would be too easy. But I feel with enough pressure, maybe he'll finally just do it. Someone will convince him, and he'll be like, fine, I guess. This match, we were like, dude, this is going to be great. Literally, we were like, the weakest link here is technically Cody, and it's fantastic wrestler. He's really, really fucking good. He's kind of he's like the weakest link in the whole thing. But he still did some cool moves and all that. But I mean, you got Pac here who not only can power bomb and pile drive people with such force. He's just like, yeah, let me go down a top rope and do 3 flips in a row really quick, or do a twisty flip thing, like a corkscrew dive. And then Andrade was like, let me go ahead and just bounce off this rope and do this crazy flip to throw you at the ring. And then Malachi Black's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do these like crazy spin kicks and do like a lot of cool judo stuff. And you're like, fuck, dude, these guys are hella good. So anytime they're wrestling each other, you're like, damn, that's great. You're like, Pac versus Malachi? Hell yeah. Pac versus Andrade? Hell yeah. Cody walked in, you're like, I mean, he's going to do some cool stuff, but probably not going to be like baller. Oh yeah, CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. For me personally, it was kind of a random matchup. I was like, CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston, especially for pay-per-view. I was like, this seems random. And then I was told that they actually have a lot of history. Like, apparently they've actually been like rivals for like 12 years or something. Like, this match was supposed to be almost like a close to it, or maybe like a start to it. And then this one wasn't a sleeper match. This was kind of like the Bryan Danielson Miro match. It wasn't necessarily bad. I can't remember much though from it. I think the one takeaway we had from it actually was, I forget how Punk lost. Eddie Kingston lost, actually. I'm sorry. And we were making a joke that we're like, how could Eddie Kingston screw this? So that he's like, I never did this. So we're like, he's probably gonna do that shit or something, and then they'll have to wrestle CM Punk again, and some shit. So we thought it was funny. I have an article pulled up to remind me what matches happened. And I already hate it because it did not even put the Britt Baker Ty Conti match on there, which let me tell you, that was a good match. That was a solid match. And I was extremely happy for Ty Conti. I've been a pretty big fan of her since she debuted in AEW. I've always kind of liked her. She's just fun and enjoyable. She's having a good time, I was like, oh, cool, awesome. Honestly, like, my takeaway was, I knew it was going to be a match where it was just going to help Ty Conti shine. It was finally going to give Ty Conti this one match where she did some real crazy shit, and she could definitely like get over with the crowd a lot more. So that's what I was excited about. Oh yeah, they did a lot of roll-ups and stuff. It was really impressive, actually. So Britt Baker has a submission where she basically like kind of is on top of you. You're on your stomach. She gets on top, does like an armbar lock behind you, and then reaches in and grabs your jaw and tries to like pull it open. Essentially, that's like the submission. That's like her finisher, is that submission hold. So yeah, I remember there was a point in the Ty Conti Britt Baker match where Britt's going for a submission, and she's about to get it. Ty Conti's like stopping, and she's like, no, she can't get the submission because I'll fucking tab her. I don't want to, be in this hole. That would fucking suck, right? Submission, and she decides to just roll up Britt Baker to do like a reverse pin, and we were just like, holy shit, it was cool. And it was really cool. She did that a couple times through the match. They were all really well done. We were very happy. Actually, I knew Britt Baker was gonna hold the championship. How they did it, it was pointed out to me why it was good the way they did it, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I never really thought about it. I just kind of was like, yeah, whatever, like Britt Baker wins. But Britt Baker just did like a surprise roll up into the pinfall against Ty Conti, and it was a quick 3, and then she won it, just by, essentially she got, Ty Conti just got outplayed a little. Wasn't sneaky, wasn't anything, and it was well done because it preserves and makes Ty Conti still look good because she didn't lose by getting submitted. I was like, yeah, that makes sense, like if she lost to the submission, then would have been like, oh, she lost to submission, she's clearly not better than Britt, it's like, oh, she's clearly a weaker wrestler. It's like, no, she lost purely, she just, Britt just outsmarted her in that moment, and Ty Conti is still a strong and like powerful wrestler, right, in terms of like kayfabe and all that. So one of the other matches happened. This was we're at the like second to last match now, and I remember a friend of mine was very, very upset about this, and I don't blame him because I was also kind of like, I kind of hate this match happening, and that was the Inner Circle versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, who are a tag team called Men of the Year, and they were teamed up with 3 members from American Top Team. And that was, I forget the other one guy's name, but one was Junior Del Santos, who is a legit UFC fighter. The other guy, also a legit UFC fighter. I just don't remember his name at the moment. The head, like, coach or leader of American Top Team, I guess he's the coach. I forget exactly what he does. His name is Dan Lambert. And let me make something very clear. I learned that his name is Dan Lambert, because for some reason in my head, and it's in the prediction document, I kept calling him Jim Lambert for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I kept writing Jim Lambert, and one of my friends who's read the predictions, he saw that and he was like, okay. He thought it was really funny that I kept calling him Jim Lambert. And then I finally, I was talking about it. I was like, oh man, yeah, they're probably gonna do some shit with Jim Lambert in the ring for this match. And then he started laughing. And he was like, I can't believe you're still calling him Jim Lambert. Like, that's so funny. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, isn't his name Jim Lambert? They were like, no, it's not. His name, and they were laughing. And like, his name is not Jim Lambert. I was like, wait, what is he? He's like, it's Dan Lambert. I was like, oh shit. I was like, did I write Jim Lambert in the prediction? He's like, yes, you wrote it like 5 times. And he said he read the doc and he was like, man, he's like, Jofisshh is just like burying Dan Lambert right now by calling him Jim Lambert. Like, he must not like him. And I was just like, listen, I mean, he's got a lot of heat because he's going with the heel route, but he's doing these stupid fucking promos calling people snowflakes and shit. Which, by the way, that's why they're wrestling, is because Dan Lambert came out during an AEW show and just decided to like talk shit about all the AEW fans, calling them dumb snowflakes for watching the crap that is AEW. He was like, they should be watching a real sport like Junior Del Santos in UFC or something. I'm like, all right, guy. It was all done as a gimmick. It was just like a cheeky, fun thing, Just a storyline that I was like, I just want this to end. And I find it very strange. It's just a strange storyline. Everything about it's weird. So this show was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That was also the second thing I learned that night. I was like, oh, they're in Minneapolis. I kept saying like, oh, they're in Minnesota. And they're like, yeah, and they would say Minneapolis. I was like, oh, they're in Minneapolis? My bad. Okay. I guess I got wrong. For some reason, I'm a big dummy. I thought Minneapolis was a state. I knew Minnesota was a state, but I thought Minneapolis was a state. So I was like, oh, I'm getting it wrong. They're in Minneapolis, not Minnesota. And then someone said Minnesota. I was like, oh, yeah, Minneapolis. And they're like, oh, yeah, Minneapolis is Minnesota. And I was like, wait, what? They're like, yes, you idiot. I was like, oh, fuck, I feel like an idiot. Aren't I the stupid one here? What was it? Oh, yeah, so they called it a Minnesota street fight or something, or Minneapolis street fight. I forget what they called it. It was a no DQ match. They were just gonna wrestle. Like, they were just gonna wrestle. They could wrestle with whatever they want, whatever they had. Hit each other hard with some of the stuff they had. I mean, they were busting up trash cans. And, like, they had some hockey sticks, and we were just like, what the fuck? It was like, is Minnesota known for like its hockey team? I think we found out there is a Minnesota hockey team. We don't know enough about hockey to speak on it, and I don't know enough about hockey to speak on it, but yeah, there's like some hockey sticks. The thing we thought was funny, I think there was like a cake pan or something in there. We're like, why is there a cake pan? Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? It was a wild match. I think it went for like 30 minutes, and we were just like, man, this is insane. But the crazy thing was, so earlier how there was like 2 different Eddie Guerrero tributes. One with Lucha Brothers against FTR. Sorry, I don't know. I said that so weird. The other was with Andrade El Idolo. The big thing we figured was that Dan Lambert was going to get the pin. They were going to do that. Like, they were going to end this whole storyline. Like, this match was going to end the storyline. And they hit Dan Lambert. They got him down, and he was like down, center of the ring. And it was like, oh, the center of the ring. That's crazy. Chris Jericho then, he's in the corner. He stops. He kind of does like a sign of the cross kind of thing, and then looks up towards the sky and points towards the sky. And then he does an Eddie Guerrero, like, Viva la Raza shoulder shake. Then he gets up on the top turnbuckle, does a frog splash onto Dan Lambert, pins him, and wins the match. And we're like, whoa. We're like, oh, sick, another Eddie Guerrero tribute. We're like, but why? Like, what is with all these Eddie Guerrero tributes? Like, was he like super popular in Minneapolis or something, or Minnesota? Like, what's going on here? We're trying to figure out. We're like, what the hell's going on? So we're like, hey, hold on. And it's like, we're trying to figure out. We're like, we know he died like in a hotel from a heart attack, but we're like, but where was it? So we looked it up and we found out that Eddie Guerrero died in a hotel that was in Minneapolis. And funny enough, this pay-per-view aired November 13th. Eddie Guerrero died on November 13th in 2005. And we were like, holy shit. So we're like, it's been exactly 16 years since he passed away. So we're like, that's why there's so many tributes to him is because they're not only in the city that he passed away in, it was also on the pay-per-view was on the day. You know, it was 16 years to the day, which was really crazy. We were like, holy shit, that's like insane. Yeah, that was the Inner Circle American Top Team match, Full Gear. And then the final match, the main event, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. So there was a lot to this match. And I was personally very excited for this match for various reasons. Just to give a setup for it. Basically, the reason this match was so huge, Kenny Omega at that point had been champion, I want to say it was almost a year. It hadn't quite been a year, I think. And the setup for this was like, you know, you could argue this was like a year-long booking in the making. And all the fans saw it. They knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when, not a matter of if. The way Kenny Omega won the championship was there was a World Title Eliminator tournament, similar to how they're doing right now that they just ended at Full Gear with Bryan Danielson and Miro. And in that tournament, it was Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. And they were on opposite sides of the bracket, so they ended up meeting in the finals, and the finals was at Full Gear in 2020. Me personally, I for some reason thought Hangman Page was going to win that match and he would get the belt from Moxley. Tournament happened a year ago. It was Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega wins that tournament and beats Hangman Page. Kenny Omega beats Moxley and gets the belt from him. And meanwhile, the whole time, everyone knows that Hangman Page is going to be the next person to get the belt off Kenny. Like, it's just kind of one of those things that, like, people were kind of guessing, like, that's what's going to happen. And the reason, and it happening at Full Gear was really nice because, one, it's finally Hangman Page. He's coming back full circle. It's his long-term character booking of this 2-year arc where he started as, like, a bitter drunk from not being able to be the first world champion to he got himself together, made some new friends in the stable, the Dark Order. There's a stable called Dark Order. He becomes like friends with them. You know, it completes his arc where he finally becomes champion. It's like, wow, 2 years later, he finally kind of gets everything together and he's now champion. Like, that was kind of the idea everyone had. Like, that's the storyline they're going for. And they did. They went for that storyline and it happened. And the other poetic thing being that, you know, in the pay-per-view where Hangman Page originally had a shot for the belt and he lost, is going to be the pay-per-view where he beats the champion to become the new champion. The current champion to become the new one. So it was a very, like, poetic thing they were doing. And my big thing was, I was really hoping, one of the things they kept harking towards is that Kenny Omega, his finisher is called the One-Winged Angel, because he's a nerd, and that is 100% a Final Fantasy VII reference. Everything Kenny Omega does is some kind of video game reference. He's a hardcore nerd. He doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, Street Fighter and Final Fantasy. Anytime he does the One-Winged Angel finisher, no one's been able to kick out of it. So I had a theory. I thought it'd be really cool. It'd be like a very fun way for Hangman Page to win the match. I thought, what if Hangman Page has become powerful enough as a wrestler that he gets hit with the One-Winged Angel by Kenny Omega and still kicks out of it. Like, he kicks out of it. I was like, a friend of mine, he was like, you know what I think will happen is they have Hangman Page do the One-Winged Angel on Kenny Omega, and then Kenny Omega kicks out of it, and then he can say, I am the second person. He's like, I am the only person who's kicked out of the One-Winged Angel, my own finisher. Like, there's only 2 people who've kicked out of the One-Winged Angel, and that's Kota Ibushi and myself. Funny enough, Hangman Page grabs Kenny Omega, and he does the One-Winged Angel on Kenny Omega, and during that, I was just so, like, hyped from it, and I thought, like, this is the moment he's going to win, so I got really excited. I just yelled out loud. I was like, oh! Like, as loud as possible. It was much louder than that. My mic sensitivity is pretty high, so I don't want to, I'm just, Hangman Page, you know, he does the One-Winged Angel on Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega kicks out of it. Hangman Page is getting ready to do his finisher, which is the Buckshot Lariat, and then the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, kind of hobble out. They don't walk out. They actually hobble out, legit. They're like, and they see Hangman Page, he's like, pretty much moments away from winning, and they look like they're going to get involved or try and stop him, but they just kind of look at him and they just kind of nod their heads like, do it, Hangman Page, win the belt, you deserve this. Like, you know what, bygones be bygones. Yeah, Hangman Page does his finisher, wins the belt, Everyone's excited. It's a great moment. The Dark Order, who are friends with Hangman Page, like really good friends with him, come out and pick him up and cheer him on, and you know they do like a hip hip hooray for him because it's like he's finally champion. He did it. And yeah, that concluded the end of AEW Full Gear. I really liked it. A lot of good matches. I actually was, funny enough, I was excited for the pay-per-view, mainly because I'm always excited for AEW pay-per-views. They're always just good, but I wasn't like ecstatic about this. And it was mainly because I looked at the card, and when I had to sit down and do my predictions and I looked at the card, I thought to myself, man, there isn't a lot of wrestlers on here that I'm like, that looks like it's going to be great. Like the matches I was really excited for were like Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page, but it was because I knew Hangman Page was going to win and be the champion finally. But I think that's why I was a lot happier too when Full Gear ended and I'd seen all the matches. I was like, wow, that was still, you know, I wasn't super excited for some of these, but it turned out amazing. Like every match turned out fantastic. Can't wait for the next Full Gear. Can't wait for the next pay-per-view. I'm sure the next pay-per-view is going to be Revolution in 2022. Some of my future like prediction stuff, things that'll happen, some fallout from this. I'm thinking MJF versus Darby Allin's not quite done. I'm sure they're going to continue that storyline for a couple more weeks, potentially. I don't think CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston is quite done yet. Either that storyline is going to continue into some more stuff, so maybe another match between them, or it's going to lead to Eddie Kingston maybe. I know some people were convinced that Eddie Kingston will be a heel for the Lucha Brothers. I'm sure they'll just defend the title against, you know, they just continue defending the title. It's going to be a matter of who it'll be against this time, who will be their next rivals. I can't think of who will be their next rivals. I don't have a good idea. Britt Baker, of course, will just continue defending the belt. I hope this just leads to Ty Conti doing some more really cool matches and getting some great opportunities from AEW. Actually, one thing I hope happens, and I'm convinced that Kota Ibushi is going to show up in AEW at some point and team up with Kenny Omega, and we're going to get a Golden Lovers reunion, baby. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my dream booking. You know, if you're wondering, like, man, why does he sound like that? It's some of the Sunday night streams like this get me pretty relaxed and chilled and stuff. So I'm usually just like, oh, hey, what's up? I realize with how much grinding and stuff I do, the Sunday night streams might be good to do stuff like this, like I'm doing right now, talking about just AEW Full Gear, maybe just finding a big topic that I had happen over the week or something. I don't know, just one big topic and just going in depth with it. Hey, thanks for stopping by and watching the video. If you want to catch me live, you can catch me at twitch.tv/Jofisshh. Links in the description, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again.